and welcome back to Gap Gracepoint Online. Firstly, Merry Christmas to everyone watching this today. I really hope that you have a special day. But secondly, today we carry on with our Adventure series and we look at the mystery of Christmas and what Christmas means for us in our lives, and as we as Christians come close to God in this special time, what God wishes for us to learn about what He's done for us. And so today we carry on with our godly play set as we look at the mystery of Christmas. Today's story starts with this picture. It looks slightly different to what we've seen before, but it's the Mother Mary and the baby Jesus. It shows the incarnation, which is a big word for how God became a baby. I wonder if inside the story we will find something about the mystery of Christmas. Today we enter into this story in the same way as a mystery. It takes a while to get ready to enter into the mystery of Christmas. We use the color white today, as white shows us pure joy. Parts of this Christmas story are not told very often, but they still need to be told, even the sad parts, because sometimes they point us to something in the mystery of Christmas that we did not know before. Look, do you see what's happening to Mary? This is the Annunciation. The angel Gabriel is announcing to Mary that God has chosen her to be the mother of God. Do you see Mary, the angel? They have the same colors, but the angel has wings. Mary was scared but happy. She was stunned but blessed. Mary was lucky. She had an older friend to talk to, and that was Elizabeth. She went to visit her cousin Elizabeth. Elizabeth was much older, even old enough to be Mary's mother. When Mary came close to Elizabeth, something miraculous happened. Elizabeth felt the baby growing inside of her move when she heard Mary's words. She said something like, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the baby that you are going to have." When you spoke, the baby within me jumped. Many wonderful things are going to happen with your baby and mine too. When Elizabeth said that, Mary began to sing a song people call the Magnificat, because it begins, "My soul magnifies the Lord." Look at the halos around Mary and Elizabeth. These gold circles of light are around some of the people. They are the holy ones. The artist used real gold in his paint, or beat the gold out very, very thin and pressed it into paint and plaster to make these gold halos. In the picture, the ones with halos are Mary and Elizabeth. See how young Mary is, and look how old Elizabeth looks. The artist wanted us to remember that Elizabeth was too old to have a baby and was old enough to be really wise and a good friend to Mary. This is called the Visitation. But wait, let me finish the story. This is the part of the story that people often leave out because there's no picture for it. It is about the other baby that was born. Elizabeth's husband, Zachariah, was a priest. It was his time to work at the temple, so he went inside to burn incense and to pray. While Zachariah was at the temple and at the altar, he glanced over to his right, and there was a bright light. "Don't be afraid," said the angel. Angels are messengers from God, and they can be scary. The angel said, "Don't be afraid. I give you good news. You and Elizabeth will have a baby. But we are too old, Zechariah said. That was the last thing he said. The angel took away his words. It's not a good idea to argue with an angel. Then the angel told Zechariah what the baby's name was supposed to be and disappeared. Mary stayed 3 months with Elizabeth and then went home to Nazareth. Elizabeth had her baby. Friends came to help her. And when the baby was born, all they wanted to name him was Zechariah. But Zechariah shook his head, no, and then wrote, "The baby's name is John." Then they named him John, and that's when Zechariah could speak again. It was then that he said his prayer. It is called the Benedictus because it is a poem and a song of praise that begins, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Israel." He was so happy. Then Mary's baby was born. That's why this is called the Nativity, which means birth. See how Mother Mary is lying down. She is awake and happy, but Joseph is asleep. Joseph was like a father, but the baby was from God. The baby is wrapped in strips of cloth. These strips are swaddling clothes that you sometimes hear about in the story. Look at the angels. They are so happy. They are flying all over and singing Gloria in Excelsis. You may have heard this song in church. Glory to God in the highest and peace to all its people. That's what it sings. This is another part of the story that is often left out, and it's called the presentation at the temple. After a time, Mary and Joseph took their new little baby to the temple in Jerusalem. It was the custom to present a new baby there to celebrate its name and to dedicate the baby to God. When Mary and Joseph took baby Jesus into the temple to be dedicated to God, an old man named Simeon came and took the baby in his arms and said, "Can I die in peace?" I wonder what he was talking about. Well, when Simeon was younger, God told him that he would not die before seeing the Holy One who was coming and would change everything. That day, Simeon knew Jesus was the one that he had been waiting for. Then there's old Anna, who came up and looked at the baby. She also saw that this was the Holy One, and she gave thanks to God and everyone in the temple for what happened. Simeon is holding the baby. Mary is still holding her arms out. I don't know why old Anna doesn't have a halo, but she loved to be in the temple. Look at her coat. It looks almost brown and old, but if you look closely, it seems to be all gold. When old Simeon held the baby, he said a prayer. And we remember it and sometimes sing it. And it says, "Lord, now you have set your servant free to go in peace as you have promised." The three kings, the Magi, the wise ones, finally arrived. They are adoring the baby, which means they are worshiping him and standing there looking at the baby and enjoying him. They have also brought presents. Look at the star. The wild star they'd been following. The artist didn't know very much about camels. He knew they had long necks and a hump and long legs, but look at their faces. They look more like donkeys than they do like camels. But it doesn't matter. We know what he was trying to paint. This is another part of the story that is often left out. And no wonder people do not tell this part of the story. It is called the massacre of the innocents. The three kings followed the star to come into the land where Jesus was born. They came into this land and they went to see the king, King Herod in Jerusalem. When King Herod heard them say they were looking for a baby king, he was very interested. He did not want that baby to grow up. Herod wanted to be the only king in the land. Come and tell me when you find this king, he told the Magi. I want to come and worship him too. But Herod was not telling the truth. He wanted to kill this little king. The three kings, the wise ones, knew this, and they did not tell Herod. They went home by another way. They were really wise. But Herod did not forget. He asked his scholars to look in the scriptures and find where it was said that the king would be born. They told Herod the place would be Bethlehem, and Herod sent his soldiers there, and they killed every baby boy they could find who was younger than 2 years old. That was a terrible thing. Mothers and fathers were really sad. You can see that many babies have already been killed. The soldiers took them from their mothers. No one really looks happy in the picture, not even Herod. Look at the mother's eyes. The artist tried to paint them to look very, very sad. See how long and narrow they are? But I guess the story isn't over just then. The baby Jesus did not die in Bethlehem. An angel came to Joseph in a dream before the soldiers arrived. And the angel told Joseph to take his family to another country. They fled far away into the country of Egypt. Mary and the baby rode on the donkey, and Joseph led the way. Now let's enjoy the whole story. When Jesus grew up, he grew up into greatness, and the mystery of Christmas increased. Now I wonder which part of the story is the most important. Which part did you like the best? Which part could we take away and still have all the story we need? I wonder how this mystery of Christmas is different from the Christmas you've experienced before. I wonder if you've maybe learned something new about the mystery of Christmas. And I wonder how your hearts will be changed because of this mystery.